Hello, and welcome to the Creative Mindset Podcast. My name is Isolde Trachtenberg, and I'm thrilled you're here. I want to talk to you today about adding value with an easy technique you might not have thought of. It's really funny, actually. I'm not in marketing, but I feel like in order to have your own business or to be successful at your job or to sometimes even get your little kids to brush their teeth, you kind of have to be a marketing agency. If you want people to know what it is you're about, if you want to get them excited, if you want to serve them correctly, in other words, give them what they want and need, yeah, you have to do your research. Of course, we know brushing your teeth is something you have to do if you want to keep your teeth. But I'm talking more about if you are working with others or you want to serve others, you do need to do that research and find out what it is they need so that you can serve them best. Having said that, the other part of it is that there are all of these prescriptions of how much content you have to post and when and how often and to which platform. And there's Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and Twitter and you name it. And oh my stars, it's exhausting, or at least it can be. I've figured out a really interesting repurposing technique that I think is just lovely when it comes to getting your content out there in front of the people who want to see it. Now, one of the things that I've heard, that I've been told, is that if you want to reach people that you want to work with or work for, comment thoughtfully on their posts. Get in and leave something substantive. Don't be, hey, I love you, or check out my feed, or whatever. That's not what you want to do, right? You want to be substantive, you want to be thoughtful, and you want to be of service. Well, this is something that I want you to understand, because if you constantly feel like you are trying to keep up with all that content you're supposed to be posting daily, you might be just as exhausted as I am. So here's this easy technique to repurpose your content that you've already created, right? If it's a good practice to add value by connecting with new people and broadening that network by leaving thoughtful and those substantive comments on people's posts, well, while you're giving those thoughtful comments about the topic that hopefully you're already passionate about, you'll probably see that many of those comments would make great posts on your own blog or your LinkedIn profile or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, whatever. So reduce, reuse, recycle, repurpose isn't only a best practice for your stuff. It works with your content too. It works with your words. So for example, I just left a comment about how human resources professional can ease the interview process for a candidate. And I discussed how they might better highlight the position and the company so the candidate has all the info to make an informed choice. I gave a bunch of tips and techniques in the comment. And then I took that comment and I turned it into a LinkedIn post, and I also put it on my blog. And I've done it other times too. I put together a list of techniques so that if you are going to be talking to, for example, interviewing candidates for jobs, or if you're a candidate for a job, these are the things that you will want to do with your voice and your body to make sure that you put your best foot forward. And so that's another one that I gave as a comment on something, and then I took it and went, you know what? I can take all of that information and put it into an article for LinkedIn. So as part of this, and here's something that's really interesting, it is already in the of service mindset if you're commenting on someone else's post, right? If you're not just commenting of, hey, check out my feed or check out my page, if you're trying to leave a substantive comment, the point of view of that comment is, I'm trying to be of service to you. Do you see what I mean? So that if you're leaving that substantive comment on someone else's post, you can take that comment with the point of view of being of service, and you can transform it into a post that can add value not just to the one person that you commented for, right, on whose post you commented, but to all of the people who follow you or who might run across your content and go, wow, this is something really cool. I didn't know it. So repurposing it serves multiple functions. Number one, it absolutely does give you an ability to put your content out in new ways, new platforms. But also because it's not just one comment on one person's post. Now, with the tweaks that you can do, like putting it in your voice and perhaps not you might want to change the first little bit of it to make it an introduction, right, to whatever it is you're talking about. So I, for example, wouldn't just go, well, what I do when I'm working with someone and trying to help hire them for the group that I manage, I do X. I might say, hey, there are times when we feel like we don't have enough oomph in our pitch to the candidates who are looking at working at our companies. This is something that you might want to try, and then moving on from there, because you want to explain what the issue might be so that you're not just wandering around going, well, I don't know why I started this. This is just sort of coming in the middle. No, give a little bit of an introduction and, of course, a conclusion to what you said, and that way you can repurpose it and it will work really well. So, again, leave those substantive comments, get in to the idea of being of service with those comments, then take them, transform them into additional outreach that you can make to bring value not just to the one, but to the many who are interested in what you're doing. And I'd love to know, by the way, how do you handle your content? Do you repurpose it? Do you ever go, oh, this was so good, I'm going to tweet this out? How do you build your relationships? I'd love to know. And if you know someone who's struggling, by the way, with their outreach, with their social media at work or personally even, that, oh, I'm getting overwhelmed, tag them on this. Let them know about this, because it's a really interesting way of doing it. Just a couple of tweaks will get you a whole brand new way to reach out and connect with the people who could become your fans, your friends, and your tribe. My name is Isolde Trachtenberg, and if you like what you're hearing, please consider reviewing the podcast or at least subscribing and telling your friends about it so that we can keep building the community that we're building here. Until next time, I send you all of my love. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you being here. Please subscribe to the podcast if you're new, and please tell your friends about the community we're building here. Today's episode was produced by Isolde Trachtenberg and is copyright Isolde Trachtenberg 2019. Today's music was from Kevin MacLeod, Laser Groove, and Ave Marimba, brought to you by Creative Commons License 3.0. As always, please remember this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Past performance does not guarantee future results, although we can always hope. Until next time, I send you all of my love.